Okay. We are live. Jose, look, man, NFTs are booming, and I know you are my guy for the NFTs right now. I need some insight in this market. I know you're just actually doing some big things, possibly talking to some a big audience. We'll talk about that later on, of course. We'll definitely give people some insight into what you're up to. But before we dabble into what's going on in the NFT market, let's just quickly take a gander at what's been going
Let's.
on in the Bitcoin chart space, because there seems to be a revitalization in the prices, I would say. I
Right.
mean, are we still in the bull market? Okay, we still, because September was September was crazy.
You know me. I look at other charts. I look at I look at the moon charts.
The moon.
The moon and the astrological, and even in those places, I've seen people who straddle that and the crypto space, and
Uh-huh.
some people have been saying that like it's looking good. So
Hey, do whatever you can to get these prices
yeah,
to make sense to me, because they're all over the place. September was sad, man. I'm a
oh my gosh.
let me pull that up real quick. Let's just focus on Bitcoin, because we already know every coin's all over the place, red, green everywhere.
Right.
Bitcoin right now at 57,000. Which it's like the second time this month it's hit that, right? So if you look at the past 7 days, on Monday, I think we took a climb up and hit it, and we were all thinking 60,000 is the next resistance. And I guess some people were like, hell no, we're gonna sell off and cause a little crash here and panic and scare everybody out, and then get some cheap Bitcoin while we're at it. But now we're back. Just a few days later, we're back. And if we look back 30 days, you can see this bearish situation that was happening in September, my birthday month, if anybody's wondering. Yeah, it was a bad time. But historically, people say historically, September has been a bad month for the cryptocurrency
I
space.
I've seen that. Let me see if I can find the graphic. When I saw that graphic, I was like, wow, we're really in for it. Let's see if I can find it here.
Yeah, there's a lot of documentation out there, especially on like Twitter, and we're sharing a lot of stuff. Let me know when you got it up, and I'll pull
I
it up.
got it. It's kind of
Once,
small
okay.
though. Let me make it bigger here. There we go.
Yeah,
Look at all
there
that
you
red.
go. Yeah, that September, like since 2013. 2013 is when I got in, and I don't remember this because it was a long time ago. But yeah, you can see it here on the chart. It's not only been 2 years, 2015 and 2016, when it's green, and the percentages are measly compared to what's been in the game. We've seen higher percentages than that previously. But look at October though. Look
Yeah.
at those October numbers. You know what I'm saying? Double-digit percentages. So what people are expecting is that if we're seeing a similarity, because crypto space, it can rhyme. I wouldn't say it's an exact science, but if the it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Everybody says it's going to be better, and then it just becomes better. In the first week of October, we shot off like a rocket
Mm-hmm.
and bounced back. So what are you thinking? Since we saw that in the first 2 weeks of October, what are you expecting? Should we moonshot from here? Are we going up and never stopping? Is up then it's stuck?
Honestly, it's hard to deny. I mean, I try to be a skeptic, a healthy skeptic, as much as possible. But you've got people like Plan B, whoever that is, who has that stock to flow, and they haven't really been wrong in predicting these things. And there's of course that narrative that you mentioned that sometimes it kind of matches up, and it's weird too. I'm looking at this, and March also looks like another one of those. I mean, obviously the past 2 years, March has been kind of terrible. I think, with the stock market crash, and then with the rest of kind of like the turbulence in the spring that we had. But I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good. I think. I mean, November looks great. That's my month. That's my birthday month. So
okay. So we gotta celebrate, man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So, are you planning on spending any of your Bitcoin to celebrate your birthday?
Oh, so if I was going to, well, so okay, if I'm pulling anything out, it's to pay some bills. To be
smart, man.
Honest with you, like, and because September, the fall is kind of when like work dries up, like opportunities. So like I don't expect to be like too fluid in terms of like income. So and it's been about a year since I kind of started doing this stuff. So like I'll actually be able to pull some out and not pay like the highest capital gains taxes. So I might think about it, but if we start running up, then
it's gonna be tough, man.
That's gonna be it. Yeah.
You don't want to sell it at these prices. Like say it's 60K, and then we just shoot up to another all-time high, and we hit 100, and then you're trying to buy in again. You miss the opportunity to buy low.
Right.
Sometimes this might be the last time in 50K range for the next couple months. Who knows? I'm not a prophet and some miracle worker. I ain't got no magic ball, but yeah, I'm not waiting for a dip. Is all I'm saying. Well, if you got dry powder and got some money on the side and you can put it in, you can afford to do your normal expenses. And why not? That's what I'm doing. I don't tell you to do what you do, but yeah.
Yeah. So astrologically, we are technically in a what do you call it? In a Mercury retrograde, and typically most people associate that with like negative things going wrong, and like trips getting canceled or your computer going on the fritz or whatever. Right. But it's also about reversals. So the way I look at it is the market reversed to the upside. So it's not always bad. And the fact that it correlates with like just the timing, I don't know. Maybe there's something to say about that.
I can definitely see that. It's a reversal for sure on these charts. But let's go back to that real quick.
Sure.
Let me see. So we got Bitcoin looking good. We're in an uptrend right now. I'm honestly looking at 100K by the end of the year. I think it's possible. I think the idea is there, the belief is there. There's enough people coming in. El Salvador is doing decent.
Right.
There's not too much worry there. Brazil's talking about adopting Bitcoin as well, and Twitter is doing big things. But it's just too much good news. So I think we're, at least for Bitcoin itself right now, it's an up situation from here, from what I'm seeing. But either way, for now, we'll take a break from Bitcoin. It's not we're not doing any Technically Tuesdays today. We're gonna leave that for New Wave, aka Waxo, to give us some technicals in another day. Let's get back to the topic at hand, because I think some people are out there selling their Bitcoin for some NFTs. They're definitely selling Ethereum. Jose, look, you already know that everybody's trying to do their own marketplace for NFTs right now. Binance hopped in the game a while ago, I think. And they've got some interesting stuff. Oh, this one looks a little risque right here. I don't even know if I should show that on camera. YouTube might ban me. I don't know about that one. But yeah, there's a lot of options out there. OpenSea is one. A newcomer to the game, which I think is the replacement to Binance, is FTX. FTX is doing some big things. Matter of fact, didn't they just buy a stadium or become the title sponsor of the stadium in Miami?
I wouldn't put it past them. I mean, their founder, I think he just was on the cover of Fortune or something like that. This guy, I don't know if you've seen him. He's got like, I mean, I used to rock the same kind of haircut, but he had this like big afro going on, and he's like in his like, I think he's like 26 or something. I don't know, but just for someone like that to amass that much and to build this big of a company and then just kind of come into the NFT space, it's a bullish signal. It's like people are really trying to. It's not just platforms on their own. Now it's like these exchanges, which is a trend I've been seeing. Exchanges getting into it. First, decentralized exchanges, and now actual like centralized exchanges that have KYC and all this kind of stuff. So it's the trend is there for sure.
Yeah, definitely looking like everyone's in on it, and including I would kind of say the most popular exchange in the U.S. Mr. What is it, Brian Armstrong, Coinbase. They're getting in the game, and they're promising to make it easier than ever. This is straight from Coinbase's blog right here. They're jumping into the NFT space. everybody and their mother probably touched Coinbase as their first cryptocurrency exchange. So this is going to go over really well from their perspective. And they look like they're trying to make it look like what we know and love, Instagram.
Right.
It seems like they're incorporating a social media aspect to it. And for now, they actually are going to stick with the ERC Ethereum based NFTs, and then later on add another chain support. What do you think about that?
So I think it's interesting because, so I personally, in my own exploration of these spaces, I track and document all these marketplaces as a free resource to whoever wants to look at that information. It's funny because most of the existing platform, not most of them, but like it's starting to form this trend where the platforms that have been around for the last year are more so leaning towards decentralizing and coming up with ways to let people buy into their token and kind of like be a shareholder in this decentralized platform. So it's like now that we have like a community and users, now the users can be owners of the platform in a sense, or at least dictate what happens and vote on it. In this case, these companies have way more money than like a Super Rare, which is one of those platforms that just launched a token recently. They airdropped it to everyone who had used their platform in the last year. But Coinbase, I just don't see them doing that because, again, they are. It's just a different kind of company, right? They're beholden to a lot of other regulations and things where I just don't see them giving up a lot of power in the hands, giving it back to the users. However, I do think they have a really big advantage in a lot of ways. The first being that if you're already like, okay, if I want to buy an NFT on any marketplace, I have to first go through Coinbase or Binance to deposit money and then to send it to my MetaMask or whatever wallet. If I can just buy it from Coinbase and the experience doesn't suck, then right there, then that's they already have my business there in that sense. As long as it feels good, right? As long as it feels, it's not like cheesy and they're doing good by the artists and the collectors for that matter. But it's a big advantage because it takes away some of that friction.
Yeah, it definitely will. Because I think some of the people that I've talked to that jumped into NFTs early jumped on Flow, which is where NBA Top Shots is, because of the convenience of using US dollars, right? That platform made it easy for you to get Top Shots. And I think giving someone that ease is going to open the market up to everyone. Coinbase has been known for that, right? They might not be the best option if you're trying to be decentralized, but ease, it's there. And they do charge a lot. I'm wondering what the fees are going to be on this side of things.
The interesting thing is, now that I think about what you just said, fees, if let's say you buy your Ethereum, which is what they're going to start out with on here, from Coinbase, you don't have to, if I'm imagining this correctly, you're not having to send that money from Coinbase to MetaMask. So you're already avoiding one fee right there that you'd be paying to transfer that. So if you can buy it directly from your Coinbase wallet, then that's kind of powerful in a way, because again, you're still paying an Ethereum fee at some point if you want to move it off to like an OpenSea or something. But who knows? What if they come out with something that replaces OpenSea or challenges it? There's room for that.
Definitely. There's definitely room for it. The NFT space is kind of jumping beyond just the exchanges, creating more places for you to start minting and creating art that's a token style. It's getting to a point where even the celebrities, it's starting to become annoying at how many celebrities I've heard are creating their own NFT. How do you feel like they're just using this as another marketing ploy, or they're actually giving something to their fans?
I feel like the average news story about a celebrity is it's kind of like a one and done. They don't have a long-term vision for like, okay, if I buy this NFT from this celebrity, what am I going to, if I buy the Weeknd's NFT, right? What does that unlock for me a month, 2 months, 5 months from now as a fan, right? What does that do for me? Um, Doja Cat did a partnership with a Tezos platform, one that has called One Of, and they've been doing a lot of music specific NFTs. Um, and they sold out. I I don't remember if I bought one of those or not, but what I kept seeing from a lot of the fans was, we just want physical merchandise. Like, it's cool that y'all want to do these NFTs, but like, I don't know what that is. And B, like, just, can you just bundle that with like a physical vinyl record or some other kind of thing?
Right.
So I think people who do that are going to be successful at it. I think Snoop Dogg is actually kind of like stands out from most of the celebrities doing this, because he's always been about being his own brand. This isn't new to him. So like, if you're a Snoop Dogg fan and you buy a Snoop Dogg NFT, I guarantee you he's going to have some longer term vision for like what the Snoop Dogg universe, how that integrates. But Reese Witherspoon or some other person, I don't know if they have that kind of vision um, for adding utility to whatever NFT that they sell to someone.
Right. You got to kind of hope at this point that the team they pick to help them get into this space is a good team that's trying to expand the market and build upon their brand rather than just, use their brand to push another product to the masses. It's easy to just use this for marketing. That's all it is. Like I don't know if what Tory Lanez did made sense. When he dropped that many albums, he could have made it a little bit more interesting, at least, or release less, make it a little more scarce in the way he did his. Did Doja Cat had an experience with hers, right? So you got the ability to meet up with her. It almost felt like she was giving too much away with that NFT. Like when I read it, I was like, whoa, like you're getting a lot.
That's part of it. I mean, that's what people expect though in these when they buy into these projects, at least the like crypto native people. One criticism I heard was that when you bought it as a crypto native person, when you bought into it, they were expecting you to get access to Doja Cat's like official Discord. I don't know if she has one, but like that was the expectation. But instead, you got access to like a channel in the One Of platform Discord that was specific to Doja Cat. So I think what people want is authenticity, and if it feels like you're just dealing with Doja Cat's like marketing intern in there and not actually her, then is that really what you were bought, what you paid for, right? Like, I think some people want or expect a little bit more of a personal thing, but that might change because, again, I don't think celebrities have the time to like be managing their communities in that way, whereas a game developer or a NFT project person, they're used to just being in Discord anyway. So
right.
I think it'll change over time, probably more towards like honestly, just the way the celebrities are doing it. Unfortunately, I feel like the average person is just going to be, they're going to be satisfied with just like, oh, I'm part of a club, and maybe every now and then the celebrity comes in, but if they don't, that's fine. I'm just testing the waters here.
Right. So the way I look at it as like an option for the future is that like platforms, say Facebook, Instagram, where people go live all the time, they're probably going to look at this as an option for their, live chats, their live video. So super chats and their
right.
What's the one that Instagram does where you have to be a certain member to be able to comment. So if you were one of the fans who bought an NFT for that celebrity, you get the ability to use that to show that you're a super fan and attach that to your thing. Like the check could be an NFT, right? The official check. And maybe from there you can show it off and say, I'm willing to, spend money on it, and maybe somebody can buy it from you and you give it away or whatever. But I think that's coming in the future for NFTs to make sure that there's some type of uniqueness to the fans. Hopefully, if Coinbase is doing it, it'll probably happen with the major platforms that are on social media. Didn't TikTok? So what is TikTok doing? Because I know you.
Oh, right. This happened today, so I don't have like the most insight on this yet, but they are doing NFTs, and they have like Lil Nas X and some, and like, which is big right now, right? Like some of the biggest people in here.
Mm-hmm.
But it's on Ethereum, but from what I've been seeing, from what I've been seeing here, some folks are just kind of like not committing to the idea or pulling out. And I've seen this happen in other fan bases with celebrities where there is some backlash because just people don't understand the technology, and so of course they're just like hesitant to try something new. Or again, they want physical merch and they don't want this NFT to replace the idea of physical merch. So yeah, I have to do some digging to see specifically why people might be pulling out of it, or if fans are upset or what's going on. But honestly, it's the way I look at it, it's like Google Glass, right? Like when that came out, people hated it.
Don't compare it.
People did not like it. But now what we have is Snapchat glasses, and we have all these other, once Apple puts it out, that's it, game over. Like everyone's going to want one of those things, when in reality, it's the same concept as the Google Glass. The same issues are there with privacy or whatever other reasons people didn't like it, but now it's in a more palatable format. And so if this doesn't work out for TikTok right now, eventually something like this will take its place. I think it'll be social tokens as a way for fans to grow their communities and then not have to be stuck to a certain platform. They can take it wherever they want. That's just where I'm thinking that these things are headed.
Let's see.
I think my connection might be cutting out here. Let me see.
I hear you fine though.
Okay, you're back.
Back to what the original NFTs that got popular, like Crypto Kitties, the Bored Ape Yacht Clubs. Like, what's happening in that with those JPEGs, as I'd like to call them? have they started expanding upon, or is there more to what I'm seeing than a JPEG for with an ape and random characters?
Yeah, absolutely. This is for folks who aren't familiar. A lot of this stuff came out of the kind of like CryptoPunks. I would say it was the architecture that most of these projects followed, and then Bored Apes was maybe like the second wave. And the idea is there's a series usually of like 10,000 unique pictures. In this case, they're pictures of these apes, and if you own one of them, and the value of that skyrockets, now you're part of a club of people who all have one of these, right? And then the idea is collectively, in this case with the apes, I think you do have licensing rights to kind of spin that. If you want to like sell t-shirts or something, I'm pretty sure you can do that. Which, imagine if that was the case with Disney World or Disneyland or Disney in general, like where it's like, hey, do you want to like, they're going to sue the hell out of you. They would never
Right.
do that, right? But in this new world, it's like, okay, here's the IP. You guys run with it and do cool stuff. Whoever makes the coolest stuff with it will raise the value for everyone that's holding this. And then the team that's building it internally, then they kind of create extra value. So in this case, they're doing in-person events where if you have one of these things, great. Now you can go to a yacht party in New York or whatever. Or if you hold one of these things, when they release the next, for example, if you hold an ape, you also are eligible for I think a dog, right? And that NFT has its own like a pet. That NFT has its own market, so its own like floor price and all that. And again, you received it for doing nothing other than holding on to that original NFT. They also released the Mutant Ape series, which imagine receiving like a vial of radioactive, goo or something, and you could use that NFT of the vial to transform your ape. Now you don't lose the first one, you get an additional NFT out of it, which is your like transformed ape. So again, and those NFTs have their own market and floor price. So by holding one thing and finding a good team that has a good roadmap and an idea for these things, you could wind up seeing a lot of extra value and wealth just for being a loyal holder of these things. You know, if you were to, I've seen stories of people who have flipped these things early on. You know, they bought in at whatever the price was, $20, who knows, and it went up to like $100 a pop, and they were like, "Great, I'm out." If they were still holding these, they'd be sitting on 30K pop or something, like on the low end.
They're going for 30K on the low end. So you're telling me I'm out? I'm asked out right now. Can't get any of this.
And not unless you want. I mean, like they have other plans. If you buy one now, they're going to launch full 3D versions of these apes that you could use for whatever you want. I don't know when on the timeline that's happening, but and so again, this project is one of the ones that created this idea, this architecture. Everyone else has been kind of copying this formula in their own way. It's just the nature of crypto. Everything's open source for the most part. So once something works, people just keep working on it, iterate it, clone it, copy it, fork it. And then eventually out of all those clones, someone comes up with like another secret sauce. And then everyone, so it evolves really quickly. But the thing I'm seeing now, which is kind of, it's tricky to navigate. It's this idea. Have you heard of cyberkongs?
Nah, what's that?
Okay. I don't own any, so I'm not trying to shill this to anyone. But I bring it up because it has a mechanic that some projects have tried to copy recently. And OpenSea actually had to block one of these from trade because they were worried it might be like a security or something. So the idea is you hold an NFT. In this case, it's called a cyberkong, as like a gorilla. And
I think I did see those.
Yeah, it's like a pixel thing, I think. And so if you hold one of these, every day it generates 10 tokens. In this case, they're banana tokens because it's a gorilla. And those 10 tokens, of course, have their own market value because there's, they're put up in a liquidity pool. And so if you wanted to just buy those tokens, you could. But imagine holding an ape, holding an NFT or anything really, and it's generating for you $10 a day or whatever the market price of those tokens is. That's why people don't want to sell those things, because they're like, well, this is passive income that I can't, I'm not going to get rid of this thing. It's just printing money for me. And so there's a lot of other projects that have tried to use that same formula where you're holding something, it's generating tokens, and then those tokens have a utility where if you spend them, you can create another NFT, or you can do something like name your NFT, give it a special name or something, but you have to burn the tokens to do that. So it creates more demand, which keeps the price from going down. But again, then you run into the issue, depending on how it's set up, where legally it might be kind of a gray area more than most things are.
Right. I just tried to go to their site and my computer locked up. I don't know if that was a sign.
Which one is this?
CyberCon. Yeah, I literally Googled it and tried to bring it up, and my computer just like halted. I was like, hold up. My antivirus is like, no sir. It might just be a lot of graphics or something loading in the background. But the NFT space is just shocking right now, because it's really started from like just JPEGs that are being uploaded to the internet and minted in a way that has a certificate. In my mind, that's how it started, to show that it's unique. That's it. And now It's like massively morphed into something that's more than just art. Like, I'm starting to wonder what else will become an NFT. I think you told me the other day there was a way for people to license stuff with NFTs, and they're coming. Yeah, using like that way to make sure that the code is like paid for and you have a unique access to the code. I'm like, oh man.
Oh right, yeah. That was so that's someone that's licensing. Okay, so they have a script, a way for you to mint several NFTs. So if you're going to launch a collection like this, there's lots of ways to do it. Some more automated than others. And if you're doing a series of 10,000, the last thing you want to do is like do it one by one, right? So this guy has a tool where he just automates that for you. And to buy it, you just have to buy this NFT that acts as the license for that tool. And so long as you have that in your wallet, when you go to use this tool, you can just start pumping out your NFTs for your collection. But licensing in general, I mean, Solana's SolC platform, they have a section where you can attach a license to the NFT when you mint it. I think I forget his name. There are people working on this who have a lot of money and like these firms who really want to bring this to market for brands and stuff. So that's why they want to like make sure that is available for big companies.
Makes sense. So anything else you wanted to show us that's on the horizon?
So this kind of already happened, but this project, I don't know how they did it, but so essentially you have these kind of really cool looking robots. It looks like Gundam. They're like 3D. They've got this roadmap and all this stuff. And so when I first tried to get into this, the Discord was full. I've never seen that in my life. I've never been to a Discord where it's like, sorry, we're full.
What, is that a thing? Like you, what the? Okay.
Yeah, it had like, I think the max is like 250,000 people or something crazy like that. And so it's funny. I had some friends that were waiting to get in on this, and they were commenting that it felt like a drop for a sneaker. Because once you actually got into there's a countdown, and once you actually got into the drop, there was like a waiting period you had to wait before you could actually mint your thing. So it wasn't an instant process, which people thought it would be. There's like a queuing system, because the problem in a lot of these projects is that if the drop isn't handled correctly, you might get priced out because someone is able to front run the transaction and all this stuff. So these kind of high profile projects try to find ways to make it more fair. But I'm trying to figure out, okay, so it looks like they made over 70 million in sales, 70 million in like a day.
Day.
Yeah. In a day. So, and again, this is like two or three guys working on this, and they didn't really do much promo or anything. It kind of just word of mouth grew organically, and the art looks dope. So I think that's why people just got really hyped about it. I've seen projects that have put a lot of energy into marketing and contests and all these schemes to try to get people into their Discords. I don't think they did that. I think it just kind of, people were just excited about it. And now I do think that they have had a little bit of a snag with their like post drop. I just checked it earlier today, but I'm sure they'll figure it out. People are still really into this project specifically.
All right. So they're not done. They're still dropping more product, more NFTs.
No, well, so you have to buy it on secondary now, as far as I know.
Okay.
But they're gonna have like they're talking about possibly doing like 3D printing. So if you own one, maybe you can kind of get this manufactured as an actual model.
Nice.
They're talking about doing like ways to upgrade your mecha. So again, that's following the Bored Apes thing, where you can like get either a new NFT or you can trade this one in for. I would imagine it would just be a new one. It would be kind of weird if they made you burn this one. I think they would probably just do separate NFTs in that case. Swords, weapons, like all the kind of stuff you'd get in a modeling kit if you were going to put one of these together, if it was like a Gundam. But I think that's what people look for when they go into these projects, is if they're not looking for that immediate flip, they see a project like this and they're like, okay, how do I get one of these so that I can ride this out long term and just watch that floor price go up and up?
Right. Now, that makes sense, man. It's unique enough. There's the Bored Apes thing. I'm seeing more ape or gorilla things pop up. I'm seeing pixelated versions of crypto punks come up. More characters like Cardano has their own punks, but that does look more interesting. What is that? What am I staring at? What is this on the screen right now?
So to be honest, this one I didn't really pay much attention. It didn't cross my radar until it was too late. It's this project called I think it's Crypto Toads, and sometimes every now and then I see a project like this and I'm like, wow, that art, I can't, it looks ugly to me. I don't like it. It looks so stupid. And then of course that's the project that, is doing crazy numbers. So yeah, to be honest, I don't fully understand the hype behind all of these, but it's taken off in the past couple weeks. And again, like they're weird looking.
Very, very weird.
It's reminiscent of like the Pepe artwork from back in the day. But you're seeing so far, I think there's been 2 trades where people have traded CryptoPunks for one of these toads. And so CryptoPunks are like the gold standard of NFTs. So if you imagine, this is one of the ones that got traded. Let's see if we can learn anything from here. Okay, so October 6th. So, I mean, this was the price it was, people were trying to bid at it back in April. I imagine it was probably sitting around like $100,000 or something, because none of these punks are like lower than like 100K. So to see a new project come out and see someone be willing to trade for a punk, that just says a lot about the project and
Right.
people's faith in it.
Do you think people are using like the punks to like hype this up? Like, are there people in the background that are just like
Yeah,
gaming the system to
absolutely.
hype up? Yeah,
I bet that's what it is. And
right.
I mean, hey, it makes a headline and it adds to the hype and everything, and but at the same time, it's like I feel like
actually work. It might actually
if
work.
it works,
Right.
at the very least, if people wanted to look into it, they could just look at the transaction history and see like, oh, these two, whoever did this trade was in on it or whatever. Which brings me back to OpenSea. So I think I've mentioned this to you in the past. I think it was last month. The head of product, I believe, was caught basically front running. So what they have on their front page, like the featured artwork, this guy was basically buying the artwork before it got listed on the front page. And then when it got listed on the front page and it was like hyped up and popular, that's when he would sell it. And so people were looking at his wallet address and they were like, what's going on here? Why is there a pattern here of him doing this? And the whole community kind of like went after him. And so he risked it all, really, honestly. He's in a very great position, a lot of equity in his company, but now I don't think he works there anymore. And someone made a joke, like, what if OpenSea hired him? Like, that would be, or not OpenSea, Coinbase. That would be something. That'd be a comeback.
That'd be funny. Did he, so he resigned on his own or they fired him? What's the situation?
I'm not clear. He didn't put out any kind of public apology or statement, which I was waiting for. But honestly, the heat was people were making memes and people were like, it was like the roasting was happening like for a good week there. And OpenSea put out a statement, but like I don't even think they named him. It was just one of our employees, blah blah blah. But
right.
It's just a shame because how do you come back from that?
Right.
Like he was doing good work. He was really in the community, answering people's questions on Twitter and all this stuff. So he's not like a bad guy. It's just he just got a little bit greedy, and
right.
That's something you want to avoid in this space for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those spaces where we can tell most of the time what's going on. It's an open ledger, and that's part of the lore to crypto. It's going to allow things to come to light. But at the same time, decentralized platforms are making it more of a problem because being gatekeepers, and they're gonna lean towards making money over, being more decentralized and open to the community. So hopefully more of those decentralized options pop up for NFTs, just like they have for traders. And I'm sure, there's some others on the horizon for whenever this bull market kind of subsides and everybody can focus and build. But right now it's all money, money, money. So,
Right.
so we'll see what happens in the years to come. I know you're going on some sort of convention tour situation. You want to let us know about that? I can stop sharing this now.
Oh, sure.
Back on camera. What's going on with the convention that you're going to be speaking at, and who is on this panel that you might be on?
Yeah, so it's the event is called NFT NYC, so it's probably one of the larger NFT events that's happening in the US and maybe just in general. It's in person, so that's a lot different than some of the ones that have been happening this year. Currently sold out. And there's going to be so many events happening around in New York around the same time. So the 1st through the 5th, honestly, it's going to be a mania because you're going to have all these platforms, everyone adjacent to the space. Social token people will be there, DAO people will be there, all kinds of partying, I'm sure, will happen. It's going to be strange, to be honest, because I'm used to seeing all these folks on Twitter, and for the first time, maybe hearing someone's name or noticing that they're there in person is going to be very strange as opposed to seeing like an avatar. But so I'm going to be on a panel with a few folks. The one that's the most high profile, I would say, which again, it's kind of strange that like they organized it this way, but I'm not complaining. I mean, it'll be a unique experience to share a stage with this person. It's the CTO of XRP. So
XRP is doing NFTs. I don't know what's going on here. Like,
yeah.
Have they announced this?
I have no idea. And the panel itself is on like sustainability and like, we're going to be talking about just how the space has evolved since those initial conversations about like, how do we make these things greener and better for the environment? But I don't know. I don't follow XRP that heavily, but I do know that there is a very loyal fan base. There's an army of people who hold that token, and
don't say anything bad. My channel
yeah.
might get banned. Like, XRP army. No, I want no smoke. Okay, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? I understand SEC down your backs. I'm praying for y'all because
right. Everybody wants that to come out good. So
yeah, because honestly, if XRP does good with the SEC, everybody wins. If they get blocked or they get turned into security, they're gonna come after more people. But
right,
you know what I'm saying? So I'm championing for you, XRP army.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I own a little bit of XRP. I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big bag holder. But in the past, I might have dabbled in some alts, and I didn't let them go yet.
Yeah, same. Yeah. I had a very tiny bag, but I think I just got scared. The FUD. Back in December, I was like, I made a bad pick, and I think I was waiting for that Flare airdrop, which I didn't realize how long it would take. I don't know if it's even happened yet, but I think that's where most of the NFT stuff will happen on leveraging XRP. There's a platform called 888, the New World, which has a lot of heavy hitters in the NFT space, a lot of artists and collectors. And to be honest, I don't know when it's officially launching because I think it is on Flare, but this is another platform that makes me wonder, like, will creatives and artists go for something more like this, where you see these like names of people that have made it in this space, including Paris Hilton, apparently, or will they go for a kind of like Coinbase, which might be more closer to, like you said, like an Instagram, where it's like this is the big box version of, you know, an art experience where it might not have as much soul or, you know, cool factor, but it you know, it serves a purpose.
Right. Well, I hope we all win. I hope they all, you know, drive competition up. The more platforms that are in this space, the more innovation that'll come, and the more conversations you'll probably be having with CTOs of what XRP is probably. I don't even know what XRP is worth right now, but
Yeah, we should check.
Right. Matter of fact, yeah, you want to pull it up, or I can pull it up?
Yeah. No, you can. I mean, like, to be honest, I'm curious because you already know I have a lot of faith in Cardano, but at the same time, it's been letting me down in terms of performance compared to the rest of the market during this little run. I don't know what's going on with Cardano. They had that whole festival and like no movement. You know?
Yeah, it's buy the rumor, sell the news, and then, you know, they're not. Yeah, I don't see that many people jumping over, but we'll see. I'm not a big fan of any altcoins at the moment. I'm not expecting anything crazy. All I want is for Bitcoin to hurry up and just go to 100K so everybody can celebrate, and, you know, us to move on with our lives. But I'm enjoying what's happening. I can't wait to see you talk to the Ripple CTO, and hopefully ask him some questions. Maybe in the background, you get to ask him, like, so what's the next NFT drop on XRP or Flare Network?
Right.
And get him to speak on that. But right now, XRP is not looking too good. Until that case is over, it might be sad days for them. It is still in, looks like it's still in the top 10. So, you know, people are keeping it alive. The army is strong with XRP. And maybe once NFTs drop, or at least that conversation that you're going to have with them at the NFT event, maybe it'll pump after that. But
maybe. I mean, like right now, even Binance is like, they already took top 3 from Cardano, and I'm like, what's going on here? Like, what happened?
Man, the platform is selling NFTs for BNB, right? So maybe that's keeping it up. They still got what they got it on Pancake Swap and all that type of swappity swap stuff. So they got some utility for their token. I just, you know, can't say it makes sense totally to, you know, be up that high.
Right.
But people are buying, and you can't tell people what to buy nowadays, because now we're buying pictures for millions of dollars.
Speaking of, as a Bitcoin fan, do you own any rare Pepes?
No, should I?
So, well, I don't know. There are some people who when they look at, okay, so there's some people who are acting like archaeologists in this space, where they're digging up NFTs from dusty Ethereum contracts, smart contracts from back in like 2017 or whatever. And, you know, these are projects that time forgot, but people are thinking, oh, wait, if I go back far enough and I like figure out how to interact with the smart contract and get this NFT, I'm holding a piece of history. They're never going to be minted again. And, you know, there's something to say about that. And so these Bitcoin-based NFTs, these Pepe NFTs were some of the earlier ones on Bitcoin. So there are some people who have been collecting these and paying and trading these things. They're utterly ridiculous, but there definitely is a market for this. And I think I bought one. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I bought this VR Pepe only because this was one of the ones that that there was still some left that I could purchase, because a lot of these have been sold out now.
How much did you pick it up for?
I think I spent like $90 on this thing, like, to be honest. Yeah. And it's you know, I had to actually like watch a tutorial series on how to interact with this contract, because it's so different than anything with like MetaMask or whatever.
You got to break it down. What is it on? Like, you said it's Bitcoin.
It's Bitcoin. It's using something called geez, what is it called? So these used to be on a chain called Counterparty,
Okay.
and there's like a whole. I can send it to you later. There's like a whole way where you can check to see, because these are like UTXO model systems. So it's like it's more akin to like a vending machine, and so the vending machine is stocked with, let's say, I don't know, 100 of these things. If you put in your Bitcoin and they still have a stock, they'll just spit one out for you and you get one of these. Now I've seen people who have actually kind of like taken these, put them in between two layers of acrylic, and there's like a holographic sticker on it or whatever, and it QR code, and you can pick up like 3 or 4 of them for like $1,000 or something. So if for the people who want to have like a physical object in addition to like an old ass NFT that might be worth something one day, I don't know.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm still wondering what happened to crypto kitties. Like I haven't seen anybody talk about those.
Dude.
Those I think need to come back.
Yeah, I don't know. I have like 3 of them that I saw in my wallet the other day, and I was like, yeah, what happened?
What the heck? You even forgot about it. What the? You got so many NFTs you don't even remember. What the hell? All right. Well, maybe you'll show your collection next time.
Sure.
We'll pull that up and see what potential amount of money you could make selling these. Even though at this point, I feel like you'd rather sell your Bitcoin over your NFTs.
No. To be fair, what little Bitcoin I do have, I am holding on to it. I'm not. I like to at least hedge my bets, and if anything, I would probably give up some of my alts and move that back into Bitcoin to ride it back up to 100K hopefully. Yeah, trying to do the smart thing this time.
This time, right? We've made enough mistakes that we're like veterans now. We've seen the ups and downs, and we can make better decisions now. So turn those L's into losses. People, look, don't try to be rushing this situation. Don't try to be first.
Right.
Don't try to be early. Like we're all early at this point. We don't know where it's gonna go, but we have an idea because we've been in the space for a while and have seen enough bull markets and know what to expect. So yeah, just have a low time preference. Take your time out there and learn, and you'll get there in time.
Yeah. Especially with NFTs. Please do not like jump into a project if you don't really follow it, because it is, if you think trying to track the value of like an alt or something like that is hard. It's so much harder with NFTs because there are so many different projects, and it's just, you never know. There's so much hype, speculation, things behind the scenes. You really have to spend a lot of time evaluating before you get into any of those.
Right. And of course, AJO170 agrees. So appreciate it. Appreciate the comment. Once again, thank everyone for watching. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, all that YouTuber stuff. I don't even know, whatever you're watching on, share it with your friends. If you're interested in NFTs, feel free to check out some of the stuff Jose showed. Jose, where can they follow you? I think you're on Twitter. You're on everything, right? You got your own Discord.
Yeah, so I'm mostly on Twitter. If you go to Twitter _ or at never_render, you'll find me there. I'm also in the Clean NFTs Discord server. So that's just cleannfts.org. I'm trying to spend more time in the spaces too. So I've been doing a lot of Twitter spaces recently, just jumping into those, but I might get back into Clubhouse too. So you might see me there.
Gotcha. Okay. So cool. We'll feel free to drop that in the chat so everybody can see it. And we'll look forward to seeing you at the NFT conference in New York from the 1st to the 4th if they're out there. Talking to the CTO of Ripple about sustainable NFT market, which I didn't even know XRP was into. Ripple, please surprise me and not only beat this case with the SEC, but drop some NFTs so I can you see this price pump and
Right.
the XRP army possibly go crazy for a moment. But yeah, appreciate it, guys. Thank you all for watching. Feel free to subscribe and all that good stuff. Like I said, it's the investment cipher and with at what was it again?
Oh, never_render.
Yep, you can get all the good stuff. He's
Yep.
cataloging NFTs for you guys. He's an NFT guru. Trust me, he knows too much. He's been in the art space for too long. He knows what to do. If you got any questions, feel free to chime in and ask him on Twitter. And have a good day, guys. Appreciate y'all for watching, and we're out. Peace.
All right. See you later.